Hey, it's Base from BaseFit Official and welcome to today's episode. Today we are talking about sleep. Sleep is so important. Sleep is one of the most important things we could ever talk about, ever think about, and ever do. So, you know the yin and yang, this symbol right here, the Chinese symbol of yin and yang, good and bad, light and dark. Another thing to think about is wakefulness and sleep state. The sleep state is the yin to the wakefulness is the yang. You will absolutely burn out if you do not get enough sleep. Sleep is so important. Without sleep, you only have half of the equation. Half! 50%! But that's not technically true, because if you had no sleep, that bites into the other half. So if you have no sleep, you actually have 0%, because you will die at some point, very soon, if you don't sleep. Sleep is very important. I've written up on the board anabolism / parasympathetic. Now these two terms refer to sleep and kind of all about sleep. Not specifically, but are very closely tied with sleep. Sleep's probably the sleep state is the most anabolic you will ever be and the most parasympathetic you will ever be. Anabolism refers to the kind of building of tissues, of molecules, of cells, of muscles, and parasympathetic refers to your nervous system. So your nervous system at the top is comprised of your CNS and your PNS, your central nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord, and your peripheral nervous system, which is then all the nerves that run off of it into your extremities. Now, there's two parts to the peripheral nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is all to do with fight or flight. I'm sure you've heard of fight or flight before, but the sympathetic nervous system is all to do with aggression, fight or flight, stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, that type of thing. They get you up and out of there. The parasympathetic nervous system is to do with the rest and digest. The yin to the yang is to do with going in and recovering and recuperating. And you need that. You need that. I can't say it enough. You need sleep. More than the majority of you will think. More than the majority of people think. You need sleep. What is sleep? Now, it's kind of comprised of 5 main phases. This is what I remember from my psychology lessons in A level. So if I have something wrong, please correct me. But, so you have stage 1, which is kind of between being awake and falling asleep. It's kind of that light sleep phase you have. Then stage 2 is the onset of sleep, so you disengage from kind of your environment, your surroundings, your breathing gets slower, and your body temperature decreases. Stage 3 and 4 is the deepest and most kind of restful, recuperative phase of your sleep. During this, your blood pressure decreases, your heart rate decreases, your breathing slows right down, your muscles relax, hormones get sent throughout the body, and you just become an absolute tank when you get into that level of sleep. So that all takes about 90 minutes. So 90 minutes after you first kind of enter your sleep, you enter the REM phase, rapid eye movement. Now, I'm sure you've heard about rapid eye movement before. This is where the dreams happen. When you sleep, your eyes kind of shoot back and forth. And this, I remember learning this and it really kind of stuck in my mind. But your body kind of immobilizes itself and gets relaxed. Because think of this. This is a tangent, but this is like mental. Some people actually have this. Their body doesn't become immobilized. But imagine if you were dreaming and your body wasn't immobilized. You'd be up and doing all the things in your dream that you think you can do, but you'd be doing it. How mad is that? That must be something to do with sleepwalking. I don't know, I'm just freestyling, but that's so sick. So that then happens roughly every 90 minutes there on after, and each time the stages, the REM gets a lot bigger and bigger. Generally the NREM is about 75% of your sleep time, and the REM is about 25% of your sleep time. Now, I've written here some of the things that actually happen of why it's so damn important. It repairs every single system. Every single system, bar none, is repaired during sleep. So important. Memory I can't remember what the correct term is, but solidifies. Memory gets kind of ingrained, stored. Memory solidifies during sleep. If you don't get sleep, you won't remember as much. So important. Increased sleep increases the testosterone, HGH, and all those other anabolic hormones that you want, and it decreases cortisol and all the stress hormones that you don't want. You have less risk of an injury and less risk of an illness. Now, less risk of an illness because your immune system is one of the systems, and they get amped up and repaired during sleep, as does every other system. So your immune system increases with the more amount of sleep that you get. It helps a bunch with weight management. A lot of people don't know that, but weight management is very much helped by getting adequate amounts of sleep, and it also helps with your emotional control and kind of your mental health. It makes you feel better because you get all of those feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine and all these types of things that make you feel good. You get more of those if you sleep more. So as you can see, sleep is extremely important. It increases your energy, it increases your vitality, your life force within your body. It just makes you unstoppable. It really does. Something I wanted to point out that I found super interesting was a couple of kind of years ago, I remember reading about a study. Can't remember too much about it, but basically the study took a group of people, had them sleep 8 hours a night, the standard, the minimum that you kind of want to shoot for. Had a group of people 8 hours a night, and then measured them on their IQ, on their fitness scores, all these different types of things. Then they put them onto like a 6 hour a night sleep. So for the first week they felt really bad, and then eventually they actually got used to it. Their body got used to it, and they reported feeling back to normal, some even better than they felt when they were sleeping 8 hours. But here's the kicker. They did the tests again and they were completely off the mark. Even though they felt better and some felt better than, kind of when they were sleeping 8 hours, their performance was way down and they had no idea. But then they put them back onto an 8 hours a night sleep schedule, and just like magic, their performance increased again. Back to normal, but increased. So that's super interesting, and it highlights quite often tired people saying, "Oh, I feel fine," when you're not getting enough sleep. You feel fine, but you're not performing fine. End of. You need sleep. Go get some, and then train hard.